Lachlan, Alexis's family has been by her side all day and they will remain with her tonight. Well, Georgie, the prosecution and defence both believe that this audio recording depends on the entire case. Do you think that Cruzy is a terrorist? Are you confident that he'll be proven innocent? When asked if he wished to enter a plea or say anything, Cruzy replied no. From a multi-million-dollar surf company king to a penniless accused fraud. Mr. Perrin, how hard is it giving evidence in there? Do you have any regrets or anything you wish you could have done differently sitting in there today, hearing all that?
I just told the truth.
Tim Nichols says he's confident no one else from the LNP will jump ship. Why isn't Mr. Menzies here today?
He's still overseas.
And why is that?
Can I just get through here? Sorry.
Yep.
Thank you.
Why is he still overseas? Why should he come home?
I think it's common knowledge why he's overseas. He's on a holiday.
Paradise pummeled, one of the jewels of Australia's tourism crown decimated by Cyclone Debbie. In our exclusive tour, we were shown how quickly it's been restored. This is one of the worst hit areas, home to the island's hotels and resorts, accused of using Tinder to find a victim for a sickening crime. So what happened on that Tinder date?
No comment.
What happened with your victim?
No comment.
The prosecution claims the 23-year-old transgender female met her date on Saturday. Would you like to say anything to the victim, sir? Will you be pleading anything? Guilty, not guilty?
No comment.
A family overcome with unimaginable grief.
Just didn't deserve it at all.
Tom wasn't giving too much away. Is Taylor Swift the one?
I'd rather just talk about my work, if that's all right.
It's rumoured Taylor and Tom will also spend some time on the Gold Coast hinterland, away from the main hub and crowds, for some much-needed rest, relaxation and romance. How hard was it for you to sit there today in court listening to these horrific allegations?
No comment.
The court heard evidence supporting the incest charge is strong. Other pieces of evidence have been found on social media, including allegations that 19-year-old foster brother Trent Thorburn was having sex with Tiali. Police say it's not uncommon for rural properties to burn things and they still don't know how important these items are, and that could take some weeks for forensic examination. Well, Hamish, the court heard today that Rick Thorburn is in an induced coma with no indication as to when he might come out of it. Good evening. A Sydney man who punched and spat on an unconscious teenager during a coward punch attack at schoolies has escaped a conviction. A New South Wales surfer luckily didn't look behind him while riding a wave near Newcastle, or he would have had the scare of his life. A dream for a better life now in tatters.
We just want a chance to prove ourselves.
There is one place in Brisbane where you still need a jumper, the ice skating rink, and it's packed. Today, no one cares about talent, just keep it cool.
Right, let's check in with Lauren Day in Brizzy, who's all revved up this morning. Morning, Lauren.
Morning, Sarah. I'm pretty sure I've found the best holiday attraction. I'm at Kingston Park Raceway in Brisbane, which is the best, the biggest in Australia. Wright's mother and sister flew over from New Zealand for the case, but Wright's mother had to leave the court early yesterday, and today she didn't return. She burst into tears and started sobbing when she heard Tosti plead the words "not guilty" to the murder of her daughter. Just looking at a photo of Sophie Columbet brings family friend Rosalind Trott to tears.
It will be here forever. It will be with me forever. And I can't imagine what it would be like for the family.
People have driven from all over Queensland for a glimpse of this gorgeous site, which is just 20 kilometres from the Queensland border. Look, unfortunately, Sarah, we haven't seen her just yet. We're told that that plane, the Qantas flight from Sydney, is due to arrive at any second now, but we have just seen a few security cars roll up, so the security staff are here. We're told that Taylor will get straight off a plane and straight into those cars, so obviously a lot of fans already waiting here. We've got huge media as well. There's so much anticipation for this big event of the superstar Taylor Swift arriving on the Gold Coast with her boyfriend Tom Hiddleston. I'm not letting these kids beat me though. Kids, are we ready? Woohoo! Rev your engines, let's go!
Yay.
Natasha, the neighbours who found Nelson's body have spoken exclusively to 10 Eyewitness News today, and they say they're angry that police and SES searched in the wrong area because they had witnessed where Nelson entered the water. He's now the 5th victim in New South Wales and Queensland, and he lost his life as the peak hit Brisbane. Nelson Rabel's 2 horses were his life. He won awards riding them and would do anything to protect them.
Those horses you're about to see is what Nelson was coming back to save.
When the 77-year-old couldn't find them, he frantically searched in rising floodwaters.
They knew they had boats, he didn't ask for help, and then he tried to get to his property.
His neighbour John Ross took us to the sugarcane fields that will haunt him forever. It's where he found Nelson's body after 10 hours on his boat.
John was right there, he knew where he was.
From just out of here.
Just in there. Right there. That's where he's disappeared.
John and his girlfriend claim police searched the wrong area despite their pleas.
He entered this area and the search needs to be in this area. Unfortunately, they didn't listen to him. Unfortunately, yesterday, my partner John and I found Nelson.
Down-to-earth guy, do anything for you. Nothing was a problem. Just a shame we couldn't do the same for him.
Tragically, Nelson's horses had already been saved by a neighbour, but the message wasn't passed on.
I think they are next door, which is the horrible part, that they were safe. He just didn't know. He had got his wife out and had come back to check on the horses.
Lovely man, lovely man, and he was just trying to save his animals.
It's a terrible loss after a terrible time. White spot disease in prawns recently spread through the area.
Where would the prawns gone now from this river? Right throughout the whole of the bay. So it's actually spread the white spot even further.
This resilient community says the priority now is feeding and saving remaining horses and cattle on their farms here at Eagleby. They're stranded and starving.
Go on, back.
And the lucky animals that survived are now trapped by the tide. A crime of exploitation so sickening, it simply beggars belief.
Families hearing this tonight will be absolutely horrified. This is probably one of the worst cases I've ever heard in Queensland.
Get out of my face or I'll ring the police.
Joshua Lee Smith showed no remorse walking free from court after being caught with 79 photos and 378 videos of children being sexually abused.
Because you know full well I got out with no punishment, so you want punishment to be dealt with by the members of the public harassing me. So I suggest you get out of my face, or I'll smash that camera right where it stands.
The prosecution saying police seized 9 hard drives with over 80% of videos in the worst category as described by the Crown. Defence lawyer Donald McKenzie argued the photos and videos were sent to Smith, not bought or downloaded, and he had no plans to sell them on.
It was not stated that I downloaded anything, if you go and get the facts right. They were sent to me on my mobile phone.
Who sent them to you?
Well, that's not known, is it?
The 28-year-old avoided jail, with the judge handing him a 12-month intensive correction order. The court heard of the 79 images found. Most were of infants and female children aged up to 8 years old being sexually abused, and the youngest victim was just 12 months old. Despite the gravity of the crimes, today it was Smith claiming he was the victim.
Breaching my privacy and plastering it all over the television because you know I got away with it.
The court has also allowed him to continue working as a lawnmower, a job visiting homes and children.
I hope to God my son never comes across you in his life, and I think a lot of parents would feel that right now.
Go and get a real job.